and to explore this beautiful city that most of us haven't had a chance to really peek about.
Yeah, you two are very curious about that tower.
Very much.
Just, as like a historical landmark.
Do you know that tower that gets bigger and smaller the closer you are to it?
I assume that you're referring to the tidal?
Tide Peak?
Tide Peak? Yes. I've not been there, of course. But it is a mysterious place.
What have you heard about it for Ford and Bo's benefit?
Very technical notes on this, but yep.
Well, as far as I know, there is a very wealthy mage who lives there, who is responsible for the organization of the Open Quay, who is very kind of a hermit, from what I've heard, but is supposedly at least looking out for the benefit of the people who live there, so as not to be completely under the control of the monopoly of the Concord. That's as much as I know.
Power walking.
All right, as you guys make your way to the Open Quay, you approach the tower. All right,
Take notes, Ford. Knock, knock, knock.
Grab your elbow.
There's a pause.
Yeah, I think it's probably.
Can I help you?
Wait, does that sound like
Is
a
it
goblin
on our
riders
side or around?
You're hearing it around you.
Look up!
You see about 30 feet up, that balcony that was there originally is there, and standing at the edge of it, you see a figure. Kind of hard to see at this angle and this distance, but a figure is there with long, kind of dull golden robes, holding a small teacup and a saucer.
Tea.
Just kind of glancing over the edge
The international
and looking down.
language of tea.
We were hoping for an audience, if you have time this morning.
You just happened to approach and knock for an audience.
We came by yesterday, and we were told it might be best to come back in the morning. We brought tea.
Did you make an appointment with Wensworth?
Yes, he said to come back in the morning.
It's an emergency.
We have really good tea!
Earl Grey.
Both of you make persuasion checks.
Damn it.
Don't have Earl Grey. I don't.
Ooh!
First good roll of the night.
We do have Earl.
His name was Earl.
Yeah.
21!
Natural one. We don't have Earl Grey.
That's true.
We don't.
Well, it appears that you have not made an appointment, and you do not have the tea that you are promising.
Oh, we have better tea than that.
I'm a fine tea maker.
Give him some information.
We also have news of grave import.
From Zadash, from the Empire.
Dangerous information.
Then please be so kind as to present me with this dangerous information.
We
Don't you want our tea, though?
might not want to shout it all in the streets. Up to
Don't
you.
have to shout it. And you notice, like, his voice is a whisper, even though he's 30 feet away from you.
Oh. We feel a bit exposed, I would admit.
You're safe. There's some sort of amplification to his voice that's placing it kind of omnipresent around you at this low volume, like he's right there.
Can we tell from where we are if he's human or elven or...
Make a perception check.
21.
21. Glancing up, he appears to be elven, a darker complexion, which is different from the elves of Bysaeus Tyrrell up in the Empire, which come from the north, near Uthodurn, which was mentioned before. So this is probably an elf from Guarden, which is one of the coastal cities here, which originated from Marquette long ago.
Oh boy.
Like a lot of the Menagerie Coast did.
Mr. Deep Lore.
Mr. knows it all.
Some people have hobbies. I stay at home and write
So
this.
sorry. I'm going to pull a pouch of my better tea, and I'm not really sure what to do with it.
Give him some info.
Have you ever heard of the Blooming Grove?
Oh, good Jesus.
And it takes a second. I'm sure that it's crossed my path, but it is not in my immediate peripheral.
This tea is made from a flower that only grows there in the north, from one of the original families. It's very rare.
Choose one, Nenta. As you begin that process, you hear the soft footsteps begin to descend the stairs, and there you see the figure come down. It is a male elf, kind of a light brown, tan skin. The hair is short, like cut very short in the back, and it's kind of curls up into this kind of side kind of a wave swipe, if you will. Jet white is not a thing. Stark white hair, and very chiseled features, but you can see the crow's nest wrinkles coming in. From what elves you've seen, this is a very old elf. What age begins to come through? There were a lot of years on this elf. Shorter than most elves that you've seen. Probably comes to about maybe 5 feet, maybe a little under that. The robes themselves have a golden shimmer that lights in there, where it looks like the threads themselves may actually be gold, or something that very much mimics the properties of gold. As he steps down, the rest of the rope kind of drags down the spiral, comes and sits onto. Are you both sitting at the same couch?
Yeah.
All right. He goes and quietly sits in the one across, sits back. There is a stoic, emotionless face there, just head kind of cocked to the side out of curiosity. Well, while you finish your tea, you have promised. What is this emergency you've brought to my attention and interrupted my morning routine for?
You have a morning routine? Oh, it's impressive. Sorry. Deeply apologize for interrupting. We're from Zadash. We are a hired mercenary group here to deliver very specific information from Zadash about an attack that happened on the Zomber Spire.
And at whose behest have you been hired to deliver this information to me?
Well, it is a joint effort between the Hall of Erudition and the Cobalt Soul.
Kind of eyes you very closely.
A lot of people are banding together now that war is on the home front. So, unlikely alliances are happening all across the continent.
So part of this is requesting an alliance with the Cobalt Soul.
Just a friendly passing off of information.
Very well. Is the tea ready?
The tea is indeed ready.
Oh, wonderful. Pour it if you do not mind. Thank you.
Of course. If you would like to discuss alliances.
Stick to what we know for now.
It is quite good.
Thank you. I'll leave some extra for later.
That's appreciated. Blooming Grove. Yes. Is there a name to this one?
Oh, that family was one of the first four. I think it may have been the Greys, actually, which is ironic the more I think about it. Each tea is made mystically from a family that is buried within our graveyard.
This I've recalled since you brought it up, yes. Thank you. Continue, please.
Oh, yes, I guess just a friendly passing of information, and that maybe you would like to exchange information in return, if you might know anything.
Well, offer your information, and if there is something I can offer that seems relative or involved, I will be happy to pass it along as well.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're doing.
Trying real hard here, you guys.
Yes, good. Excellent.
Well, as we mentioned, the Jorhassian army has breached into the Empire. We witnessed an attack from Crick assassins on the tower.
I didn't, but I was.
Sorry, he wasn't with us at the time. Yeah.
Right.
But the rest of us did witness an attack and encountered the Jorhassian
This was
ourselves.
the assault on the Tri-Spire, correct?
Correct. I see you have heard.
Word gets around in certain circles.
Beyond that, we've recently heard that the Jorhassians have reached Felderwind.
I've heard this as well.
Our group has been on the ocean in search for further information on behalf of the Empire.
The ocean seems a strange place to seek for information when the Jorhassians are fighting in the east.
You're not wrong. We got word halfway through in a jungle that a lesser god that likes to go by the name of Ukatoa might have some sway in everything that's going on.
Ukatoa is a mythological entity in the history of the Kina, the people who were of this coast before the Marquesians came, so I've heard of it, but it has been long gone.
I don't think so. I think he's on the verge of returning, and I think there might be followers and patrons who might be aiding that cause.
You think this Ukatoa is connected to this war in the east?
We have reason to believe that maybe some Jorhassian spies and soldiers might be worshippers of Ukatoa.
There are a lot of strange things all happening incongruent.
There are strange things happening all across Exandria at any given time. To find the threads that truly tie them, that takes an insightful mind. Let's continue.
Fuck.
We've received a vision through mystical means that I do not feel comfortable sharing of a potential location for where Ukatoa is captured. A jungle landscape somewhere on the continent. You wouldn't happen to have any ideas, would you?
Well, to be honest, there are many of jungle landscapes on this coast. I have not heard anything of Ukatoa's location, nor is it of any particular interest to me at the moment.
Okay.
Next.
Beyond that,
Checking the boxes. Checking the boxes.
we found a thing.
Yep.
Tell me of this thing you found.
Which thing should I tell him about?
Start with the least interesting and work your way up, I suppose.
It was presented to us as the Happy Fun Time Ball.
Should I actually have it if I recall? I grabbed it from you. I'm going to put it on the table.
You see his fingers kind of trace a few small gestures in the air, speaking very quietly under his breath.
And all three of you bamf too.
Bright green dragon.
Interesting.
Odd.
How did you come about this?
Stumbled upon us through a little girl. I think she thought it was a toy.
Things keep stumbling upon us.
How does this connect to the war in the east?
Things that should not be... Things are becoming misplaced that should not be misplaced. I feel like the fact that we have this means that a powerful magic user is no longer available. People of great power going missing, getting attacked, the tower, all these things.
You're not wrong. The individual this belongs to, however, has been missing for quite some time.
Apparently, if I recall, is no longer with us now.
Well, there's no confirmation of that, but has not been seen in many, many years.
Seems like everyone is getting butterfingers with their magical items or magical folk.
Interesting.
There's more. I'm going to show the sword just because this is odd.
Okay, sure.
And there was also... The grove is dying.
Is this related to the corruption from Leismere?
I don't know. Perhaps I asked the Wild Mother for guidance, and it brought me to this. That certainly sparks my interest.
If I recall, this blooming grove exists in the Savalier Wood, correct?
Yes.
Well, the fact that it's been able to resist the corruption of the forest this long is in itself a testament to its guardians.
Do you know anything of its sister temples, of whether or not they hold or not, or if...
I do not think that is my specialty, unfortunately. I'm not a purveyor of faith.
There is no reason for this magic to be diminishing. It's very odd. Why would it be diminishing?
I could not tell you. Perhaps it was an imperfect enchantment, or perhaps the magic that holds sway over the Savalier Wood is growing stronger. But that would be
odd in itself.
It would. But unfortunately, that is beyond my specialties.
I mean, do you not find it concerning that the Savalier Wood is on the borderlines of the Jorhassian Empire?
It is on the borders, actually, of the Greying Wildlands in the north. It is closer to the Empire than it is Jorhas. So it would be a bigger threat to the king, Bertrand Dwendal, than it would be to any of the Kryn dynasty.
Yeah, I actually knew that.
But it seems to only spread through the forest and seems to be proximity to Leismere's ruins. So, and it's been that way for a number of centuries. I do not see it. If there is a sign of it expanding into the Pearlbow Wilderness, then that is something you should definitely let the king know. But I do not know of any signs of that. Once again, I do not mean to rush you, but
The last, well, I don't know. I'm not going to say as you're the smart one, but I think perhaps you mentioned. Perhaps it is worth mentioning the thing you saw when the tower fell, the thing that was being ferreted, the thing you saw. I don't know how to best describe it.
I'm sure you have very keen eyes, and you saw the artifact that I was looking at before I entered into this tower.
I saw something. I do not know the nature of it.
It appears to be a magical, geometric orb that has the ability to bend elements of time and space and fate.
These are radical claims that you make.
I've seen into it.
How much capability does it have? How did you come upon it? Is there not two extremely powerful things in your grasp that you seem to not have a full understanding of its capabilities? That is
I
dangerous.
think that would be a longer conversation for when you have time, than if you feel like investing in what we're doing and how we're moving about the world.
You mentioned we were not your ordinary folk. So as you can see, things happen to fall into our lap.
And you bring them to me, why?
We need allies.
We need people who are better than ourselves.
As you mentioned, we have very powerful artifacts that we're not very sure about. But our options are turning them over to the Empire, which doesn't seem attractive.
So you are from the Empire. You are of the Cobalt soul in Zadash, but you are not aligned with the Dwendalian Empire yourself. Where are your allegiances?
Depends.
To the Wild Mother.
And you?
Depends on who's offering at the time.
So you have no allegiances. You can be bought any which way,
She
depending
has
on the offer.
allegiances to us.
Correct.
That does not inspire trust.
I know.
I want to know the individuals that I would work with can be trusted.
I tend to like fellow trustworthy people, even though I'm not necessarily trustworthy myself, but ironically, I fucking hate untrustworthy people. So, if you're down, I'm down, is what I'm saying.
What are the terms you're offering? I am...
I've spent some time with these people. They're people of the world, but I've found Miss Bow and the rest of them to be loyal to each other, which I find to be a very admirable trait. And
But she says she has no loyalty unless the world pulls her in a direction.
No, I didn't say I didn't have loyalty. I said I had loyalty to these people.
Oh God, I need to stress eat.
Open.
Breaking out.
But that is indeed a loyalty, then.
Of course. And I have a few slots open in my loyalty bank. So if you're willing to pay the price of rental.
At this point, the voice comes down the corner from the staircase of, it goes, what? Sir, just got some sort of it. And the goblin just goes, not now, Wansville.
what Bow
Turns back up the steps.
what Bow is Miss Bow is not as used to speaking plainly as some of us are. It's okay. It's one of your better attributes is your ability to talk around something. We need friends. We need assurances. We would like to know that you're a good and trustworthy person, and we would respectfully like to trade perhaps some information and have a friendly face on the coast we would be most grateful for.
So what you are saying is you are a band of unaligned roving mercenaries in search of alliances outside of the political interests of this current conflict?
The others do not know, I believe, how things may change soon, and I think that it would be good. And I think they're going to turn well. I think they're going to turn out very well, but I think it would be good to have the right people in the corner when it is time.
Then what do you hope to gain from my alliance?
Information for the moment.
About
About the things in our possession, the things that we are, the powers that we are tapping into, the people we may come across.
And eventually, what favors would you be asking?
We all know corruption runs rampant in both the Empire and the Clovis Concord. I don't want anything to do with that. I just want the truth.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
It's not my fucking bets. I'm better at lying. That's not too bad. 18.
18? You see his right eye just and both of you being relatively insightful people, you see just this faint twitch at the corner of the right eye at the mention of the Concord. And he goes, my loyalty is something that is gradually earned. This is as much as you've earned. And he kind of looks to the room. There are many floors in this tower. With more loyalty earned, perhaps you'll see more of my tower. But for now, and he kind of looks over to the door opens up. The rest of your friends can enter. Let's have a conversation. At this point, Yussa kind of closes his eyes for a second, whispers something. Welcome to my chambers. So, now that we've gotten some conversation underway, I would like to know who I'm speaking with. You are all what? Who?
The Mighty Nine.
Very well.
Oh,
Don't even attempt.
Yeah, it's not.
You are?
I'm Ford.
What?
Beauregard.
I'm Caleb Widogast.
I'm not.
Jester level.
And Caduceus again. It's a pleasure.
Yasha just gives a nod. Yasha.
Yes.
I am Yussa Errenis. I am the owner of the Open Quay. And I have been a practitioner of the arcane arts in seclusion for over 200 years. You carry with you something that is very dangerous, and I would very much like to stay here. Because the longer it's on your persons, the larger chance there is that you misuse it and destroy yourselves, or it falls in the hands of someone who should not have it.
We almost died in there.
Well, which,
Case in point.
I'm assuming he's talking about the Happy
Happy
Fun
Fumble?
Ball.
Yes.
I would ask, just so that it doesn't get me into trouble with my compatriots, that I convinced them that honesty and forthrightness was the best policy.
Should you wish to come and discuss or see it, or we can compare notes on our experiences, you know where it is.
I was hoping for perhaps a trade so that they felt that they got something back in return. It doesn't have to obviously be so dangerous if you have something that at least they can feel like they can hold something in the meantime. It would.
This was something that did not belong to you to begin with, that came into your possession from a third party, and you are just the current custodian of it. And nearly got yourself killed. I am doing you a favor. I will study it. I will keep it here, where it's safe. If you have need of it, if you need to come look at it, or wish to learn of its secrets, do so in my presence, where it can be done safely.
How about a non-monetary exchange?
You. It looks like within your coat you are holding tomes. Are you a practitioner of the arcane arts yourself? Have you the capabilities to transport your compatriots via circles of arcane nature?
Via circles of transportation, you mean to
Yes.
jump from one city to another, that sort
Yes.
of thing? Not as of yet.
But he learns very fast. So
Can you teach him?
I may perhaps have something like that, but at the very least I do keep such a circle reserved for the select friends I keep.
Here in your home?
Yes. So, as part of our trust of me keeping this sphere, you would be granted the capabilities, once you are able to make this journey, to return here with your friends. You would have an anchor here on the coast, and you would be under my protection when you arrive. Does that seem like a fair trade? Those who seek friends and allies.
I have no objection.
it seems very fair. Yes.
How long until you can do something like that, Caleb?
Probably any day. He's
Yeah,
he's
you're really
reads a lot
smart
of
and
books.
stuff.
Do you have any type of scrolls or spell books that you could,
Candy.
or candy that you could lend to Caleb's aid in further advancing his ability to learn that?
I'm, by the way, already putting the ball on the table and leaving it by the tea tray as we have this discussion. I've definitely moved it to the center of the room.
Okay. He takes it and kind of lifts it, inspects it,
We can let you know what we saw inside.
Oh, man,
just
kind of wraps it into his robe, and
It drops gold sometimes, though.
the robe you watch as he places it over the sphere, and it's the shape beneath just kind of dissipates.
You have some knowledge of where that leads?
Of where this leads? I do. And the mage it once belonged to.
You knew him personally?
No, I do not know him personally, but there are few in my circles that have not heard of his exploits in the past.
Was he a good guy or a bad guy?
At a certain level of arcane practicing, morality becomes a bit ambiguous. But to the common man, I would say probably not a very team player.
Did we ever get confirmation on the owner's death, or did we not?
No, we just assumed.
Yeah, because his pet dragon hadn't seen him in a long time or something.
And yes, I do have access to various spells, but I've earned them. I'm willing to share knowledge based on the development of our friendship and proven loyalty.
How do we prove our loyalty?
By not fucking me over.
Well, look, we've been here the whole afternoon. We haven't fucked you over
We
once.
gave you a cool ball.
You did. And I made a trade of information and a safe haven. When you find more information like this and more items like this, bring them back to me. There may be times where perhaps I could use some help in doing things that I'm not comfortable leaving my tower for. Maybe you could be of aid in that case. There will be opportunities, I'm sure, to earn more trust.
Caleb extends his hand out slowly.
Side one.
Thank you.
But you have to earn.
Is there anything that we can do for you in the short term?
Anything to keep an eye out for?
I would like very much to see this other
Oh,
thing that you have come across. If
This
this
one.
is a powerful artifact, I am very curious as to what other geometric shapes you've come across.
I think we feel also would be something that we would be interested in doing once we feel even more comfortable with this arrangement and once
Perhaps
trust is
once
built.
you have earned our trust.
Obviously, you are so much more powerful than we are that it would behoove us to be a little careful.
Yeah, you
in
could
this
probably all just kill us right now if you wanted to
situation.
or
I mean,
something.
really, you probably could.
You are not incorrect.
So,
This one has sentimental value. It is not to be left here.
Well, might I at least possibly inquire as to what it is capable of? You may not know the dangers you carry with you, as you obviously did not understand of this sphere.
I have a better understanding of this one.
As traveling mercenaries, we're used to being in danger.
Very well.
It makes babies.
well, they talked about, yeah.
I have
You have a geometric shape that makes babies.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to get an assurance that we could leave this place with it and that no harm would come to us?
Well, I think if he knew that it helps us in our exploits,
it does.
which thereby helps him. I mean,
just
we are
saying,
sharing our.
I'm willing to take a certain person at their word.
I take him at his word that he could kill us all
Of course.
if he wanted to. So if he wanted to take it against our will, he would. I am comfortable with you examining it, but we don't wish to leave it here. We wish to bring it with us when we leave.
No matter what.
Yeah.
And also, we would appreciate if you would not speak of who owns this artifact with anyone. If you have to discuss the artifact, that's one thing, but we would prefer us to be anonymous. It's a dangerous world. And it would show
am-
great trust.
Generally uncomfortable making deals regarding passing glances at world-shattering artifacts, if that be the case, but you have blessed me with some fine tea this day.
Bring more the next time I go home, if there's a home to go to.
You have my assurance. And if it is indeed such a dangerous item and you wish to carry it with you, then woe be unto you. So, let me see it.
Sure, yeah. We're in.
It's time to trust somebody.
We're in for. We're all in.
It's the iron safe, and then, yep.
Did you already look at it today?
Yeah.
Takes it and begins to cast a spell that you recognize as an identify spell. Casts another spell that you don't recognize. takes a moment and kind of concentrates on it, and you watch his face go slack. A familiar expression that many of you have seen your friends as they concentrate on it do so. Oh, it'd be so disappointing when they pass through the illusion. You don't know. You think a mage lets people into his living room, gonna protect it? Are you kidding me?
No.
You don't live as long as he has. That's some sort of backup.
Sure.
I got banishment on hold just in case.
About a minute passes, and then the muscles in his face tighten back into his neutral expression. This is...
Yes.
I have studied much, and this is new to me.
Ooh.
I'd be worried if this was something dangerous that I knew and understood well. I find it far more concerning that this is something I know nothing of. And where was this found?
Zadash, after the Spire attack.
In the hands of an assassin.
So either it was in the Tri-Spire, and they successfully exited with it, or the Jorhassian were trafficking it.
I think the Tri-Spire stole it from the Jorhassians and they were trying to get it back.
Yeah.
That's what we believe.
Very interesting. Whatever magic this is, it blends elements of arcane and divine, but is outside of what I know can sense. It's very alien.
Yussa, do you know of the Empire or the Clovis Concord stealing artifacts from other shores?
If there is any sort of dominion to hold, you take what is available. I mean, everything as far as Vasselheim to Imon to Ank'Rel. Anyone in power has their threads and eyes out for what could possibly help them maintain their positions in power and what dangers there are out there. That is beyond morality. That is just simple intelligence to survive in a world that is continuously beset by darker powers and things beyond our control. If this was taken from Johas, then God knows what they were attempting to do with it.
Make babies.
Make babies.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, that's what the guy said.
Very bad people want this thing.
Then very bad people will be after you.
Well, we're also sometimes bad people, so.
That does not necessarily mean you're protected. Just be careful.
Do you have any ways to protect us? Right now we're kind of keeping it in this bag. Do you have any better way to keep it secret?
I think that is probably the best method you have. Just remove it only when absolutely necessary, and for short periods of time. It will protect from divination on this plane, but only this plane.
All right. Okay.
It's very good to know. I hope that now that you understand how much we appreciate your gesture of trust and how much your gesture of trust, and how much we are putting our faith that you are on the side of good and right.
Don't say I'm on the side of good and right. I'm on the side of maintaining a balance in which society can exist.
That'll do.
We have a shroud.
Have you ever heard of the Traveler?
No.
No, I look in my bag and I get out the little figure that I made of him.
I have no idea what this is.
He's really big on balance too. Here, I'll leave it for you. That's also a present,
You want to
okay?
leave a pamphlet too, so they can find out more information?
Yeah, okay, I'll mark this. There we go. I'll stick it under the. There we go.
He's kind of like glancing to y'all. Like,
She's
She
big
does
on the
this a
traveler.
lot,
Yeah,
yeah.
she talks to him.
thank you.
She's really powerful.
I'm sure.
We would appreciate any information that you may glean about this. Ukatoa, Traveler, the Blooming Grove, I'm of the belief that these things are connected. That these chaotic forces are moving towards something unsettling, an unbalancing.
But I will do my best to do what I can on my end of things. Well, that's been my morning tea.
Thank you for your time.
Well, we have one more business to attend.
Oh.
Follow me.
Oh,
The rest of you? And he kind of waves his hand across the table, and you watch as on the side of the platter where the teacups were, this kind of conjured plate of biscuits appears.
Yay!
Enjoy.
And you die.
Just walks away, kind of gesturing for you to follow.
That's my name.
You head up the stairs. Doesn't say a word to you. And then just curls around. And around and around for a good 2 minutes. No windows. Very little light. The occasional kind of similar, sparkling globe emitting a low torchlight. Until eventually you come to another door. The staircase continues upward in a spiral, but there's a doorway to the right and a small landing. It opens. He enters, and you enter with him. This chamber, it is a small domed room, maybe about 15 feet across, and it is circular in the base. It domes to the top, and there is no other exit.
Just he and Caleb, right?
Do you enter? The door closes. Darkness. All of a sudden, you see a rune above you that just emits a bright blue light that lights the chamber. So everything is in just shades of blue. He gestures to the floor, and as you glance down, you can see now where the blue light hits this large runic circle that encompasses the entire chamber is now glowing in response. And you recognize it. This is a teleportation circle. This is a receiving teleportation circle. He looks to you.
One way.
Says, there are transports I have in other parts of this tower to different places. Earning my trust, perhaps you may gain more access. But for now, you have a place to return to. How much time do you need? He gestures to the symbol. To memorize it.
Oh. DM question.
Yes.
Is this a spell that's, I don't know what level off the top of my head, teleportation.
I believe it's 5th level.
Oh.
So how much time?
Well, this isn't
Memorize the symbol.
this isn't the spell. This is the receiving rune.
Oh, just to
When you learn the
memorize.
spell,
Yeah,
you can use that spell to return here.
you're right.
Do you have access to the spell?
No. Oh, sorry.
So you can either choose it at a higher level
Yeah,
when you decide
yes,
to go
I do
up.
have it, yes.
Oh, you do have it. Okay.
Right. But it would take me a lot of hours.
But you can memorize the rune.
Yeah, I mean, he would look at it and look at it for a minute and have the rune in his head.
And there you go.
Okay.
So when you finish, he goes, a quick learner. Good to know. Where did you train?
Mostly on my own, to be honest. For years.
Impressive. You have a talented eye for picking up arcanic sigils and glyphs.
Yeah, it was not my intention to bother you here. My friends were very curious.
There they are.
It was fairly obvious to me that this building was real estate owned by someone of great skill.
It is designed to keep people like you out. But sometimes tenacity makes for interesting breakfast conversations.
I actually thought it was a very bad idea to come here.
It was. But you came anyway. And look where you are.
I sometimes follow my friends places I shouldn't.
That may one day get you killed. Or it may one day get you what you seek.
Well, my apologies on my group's presumptuousness. I hope that we have not made a grave error here today, and if we haven't, I hope to earn that trust, as you say.
I've lived quite a long while. And the only reason I've lived this long is I have made allies. I followed them into sometimes stupid, unnecessary circumstances. Many of them died helping me. Many of them I outlived. But I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't at least trust in the power of others.
That's good advice.
Use who you need to. But no. Everyone can be useful if you can meet out their skills.
I'm sure you have much to do today.
I'm sure you do as well. The door behind you opens up again, the light turns dark, and the stairway's behind you. A few moments pass before you hear the footfalls of a figure returning, and there you see descend from the staircase Yussa, his lithe elven form kind of draping behind a long train of his robe.
I stand.
I follow suit.
Okay. You see his arms kind of tucked into each of the sleeves where you can't see his hands. The head is kind of carried up with an air of, you would almost mistake it for arrogance, but this individual just seems to just carry themselves with an air of importance where they stand. All right. You have returned, it seems.
Yes, I beg your pardon for doing so unannounced.
I would prefer a heads up next time, but nevertheless, here we are. So, what brings you back to the Menagerie Coast?
We are transporting some asylum seekers.
Right, and looks over to Yazis like, hi, it's a very nice place you have. Thank you.
We don't intend to stay long. In fact, I think I can get us back to where we came from.
Oh.
On my own.
That is good. Well, if I might inquire, out of personal and professional curiosity, what have you been up to?
Avoiding the war. It's crazy out there. If you get close to the Empire and Dynasty.
I feel like we should mention the most recent encounter. With the
There was so many.
the laughing hand is at least probably worth mentioning. I mean, that's
Laughing hand.
something we should probably tell everybody, I imagine.
Sure. The unkillable monster that was released way, way far away from here.
Does that name mean anything to you?
It does not ring any particular bells, but I can look into my tomes. If this creature you say is dangerous, it may call my attention to study.
Well, it is a long ways off. We have just come from over the mountains and over more mountains.
Which mountains and how far?
The very edge of the Empire. Have you heard news of the war?
I have kept my eye, yes. It's important to be informed.
Is it going well?
From whose perspective?
Mine?
What side is your perspective?
You know my accent?
Not well. Not well at all. It's beginning to brim past the Dunrock. There was a series of failed incursions by the Empire. When they were killed, there is warrior of them beginning to take land further into the Merrow Valley.
But not yet.
Not yet.
You know, I have a Zemnian accent. I am Zemnian, but we are somewhat unaligned.
I gathered.
We are just trying to find our way between the cracks and hopefully do what we can to lessen tensions on either side.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Wouldn't that be something?
We have similar but different paths. We both wish to avoid choosing. The difference is you wade into the flames, while I prefer to stay far away.
Speaking of staying far away, have you seen or felt or sensed, I don't know what you're capable of, any agents of the Empire here in Nicodronis, maybe? Snooping around, asking questions, looking for people?
Ooh.
None that I've encountered, but it would not surprise me. I mean, there are many sellswords looking for ways to make money, and wartime is very profitable.
But no organized presence here.
No. Not that I've seen, at least. And even so, I mostly keep to just my segment of the city.
Have you spent any time tinkering with that gift we left you?
Oh, quite a bit. Very fascinating. How much time do you have?
Not much. Not much.
How much time do you need?
Oh, I can go on for weeks about the things that I've just begun to uncover. This is going to keep me busy for quite some time, so I thank you very much for entrusting it to me.
Did you get any gold from it?
I've acquired quite a few interesting tidbits of information, and
What's
yes.
like the top one?
He watches, he kind of leans forward and looks you over and goes, how much do you know of the Age of Arcanum?
How much do I know about
Roll
the
history check.
13.
13, not much.
It was a long time ago.
That it was. So nothing that would probably be of interest to you.
I am interested, though. Beauregard,
Yeah.
Ford, do you think that the two of you could keep an eye peeled for any trouble around Jester's house?
You want to stay here and learn some while we go back? That's fine.
Yeah. We can organize a place for Yeza, get him set up.
I will join you later.
I think that's a good plan. We'll message you if we run into trouble.
If you have some time, I would be curious to take another look at that device you had brought with you last time we had met.
We didn't bring it this round.
Yeah, we have it in hidden spots.
It's too dangerous to carry with us.
Both Jester and Beauregard make deception checks for me, please.
We took your advice. It is
Deception.
significant. And we thought carrying it around.
Theoretically,
I don't need to look at this.
7.
theoretically, I'm good at this. I'm good at this. 20.
20, okay.
Carrying it to the sewers didn't seem like a good idea anymore.
It would not. No. Anyway.
Did you find did you find a chamber with a dead dragon in it? With lots of golden hoards of treasure?
I did indeed find such a dragon.
Did you save any of it? Because technically we sort of killed it and some of that treasure is ours and we just didn't get to grab it.
Well, technically, none of us killed it. It was... Never mind.
Technically, you are responsible for destroying what would many consider to be a very arcane, powerful creature that might be endangered by some perspectives, that was owned and not in a scenario where you would claim ownership over such a haul, if you will.
So that would be a no.
Not to say that at some point down the road, should I manage to completely map out the interior of this, we might discuss some sort of finder's fee.
Haven't even begun.
I've begun, but I'll be at this for quite some time.
Did you find any powdered gems there? I've been looking for some.
Powdered gems, no. But I can keep an eye out for you if you'd like.
Okay.
Very well. So.
Do you still need me then, if we do not have the artifact in question?
Not in particular. Any other strange things in the world I should know about?
I mean, Laughing Hand is a big deal, I feel like. It's the...
Fair enough. All right, then.
Yeah,
I will begin
well,
to set that research.
To put it into perspective, we've been finding devices that have been opening up portals to the abyss. And it seems there might be some sort of incursion being planned by
people.
Demons.
Yeah.
People who might want to release this Laughing Hand.
That is curious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what we thought too.
I've been keeping an eye on reports of similar accounts happening within the Empire as well.
Really?
Knew it!
Two such similar struggles seem to have occurred in Zadash as of late, and another in Pride's Call, I believe.
Ooh, that answers so many questions.
However, by all accounts and public and private discussions, all manner of these attacks and assaults have been decreed as sourced by Kreen demonologists.
That's not, yeah. No.
Is that a credible source, or is that just...
That comes from both public cries and a number of credible sources from the interior of the Empire. Take that for what it is.
So we know that that's false.
Propaganda?
Yeah, we know
We
that's
pretty
false.
much know that. That's right.
Just like in the city in Zadash.
Yeah.
Two cryos. Oh, no, it's earlier than that. Have you noticed, I don't know if you leave this place, have you noticed any Empire presence more than normal here in Nicodranas?
No, there is always some sort of Empire presence because of its proximity to the Empire here in the border, but I believe they are placing as much force as they can towards the east, so it is not really swollen on this side of things.
Very well. Well, apologies for intruding on your home.
Next
Apology
time
accepted.
we'll call ahead so you can, get dressed or whatever.
Thank you for that. And welcome to my home, says Tayeza. Yes, is already like kind of looking at the pieces of furniture on the shelf, all the books and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, no, thank you. Can we go now?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
You guys turn around, the door opens on its own. Curiously enough, it hinges on the opposite side from where you first entered it, and leads you out into the center of the open quay here in Nicodranas. Pulled through this strange arcane tether through a dark space, and then you all gather your feet onto the stone floor within Yussa's tower in Nicodranas.
Oh, we didn't message him in advance again.
Oh, I'll send him a
Message
message.
him right now.
I'm gonna send him a message. Hey, we're gonna be at your house here real soon. We're gonna pop in, okay? Just letting you know in advance before we get there.
This message might take a while.
This message could take a while to get to you because we're running.
All right.
So good.
I hate it when service doesn't send the message.
Oh man, it was just like caught in a thing.
But it says 4 bars. Why?
I do appreciate your brief heads up. I will send Wens forth for you. Please be patient, I'm busy.
Step down into a darkened stone interior space, one you recall previously as the reception chamber for teleportation within Tide Peak Tower.
Hi, Peak
Right, this was up top, right?
Oh, shit.
It was partway up the tower.
Partway up, not ground floor.
Yes, we did it again.
We said we would tell him.
Wait, last time we did this, we called him from this room.
Oh, hey! Guess what? We're gonna come here in a little bit. We're gonna be here in this tower in a little bit.
Here in this tower? You mean there?
Just let us know when it's good to come in.
Roll a percentage dice for me if you don't mind. Yeah.
A percentage dice?
Percentile dice.
I rolled 2.
2 10.
Okay.
Pick one of them as the 10.
The pink one is the 10. 32%.
Okay. The message is received, but there's no response. Into what looks to be a wide chamber of patterned wallpaper surrounded by bookshelves and cases and tapestries. Wensforth kind of turns around and goes, can I have some advice from you folks?
Of course.
I don't think anyone's ever done that before.
And he points to the center of the chamber, and you can see it's surrounded by plush leather furniture. There's a work table that's lit by a hanging glass globe emitting a bright light over a metallic sphere on the table.
He went in.
All manner of instruments and devices and tools are scattered across the outside of it. There's a set of goggles with multiple lenses kind of open. Yes. The master's been delving into that object that you gave him, spending days, sometimes weeks, at a time within the sphere.
How long has he been gone this time?
This time, 3 weeks. I'm a bit worried. I've not heard from him. He gave me the ability to contact an ally to get his aid if it gets worrying. I'm uncertain if it's been enough time, and I know he'd be unhappy if I left too early. So I'm just asking you, as the ones who gave him the ball, do you think it's okay for me to do that? Is it too early? Should I wait?
Move down.
Okay.
Further down.
You move to the 4th floor. Identical to the previous, though each cell in here also contains a new body. One is long dead and rotting, while the other appears to just be sleeping. At least is not moving, similar to how you found Holas's body. It's dirty and covered in soot particles.
Collar?
The color...
Collar.
Collar, yes. Both bodies have collars.
And their visage is turned away, obscured, or can we tell?
It's low light. If you approach the cell, you can probably get a good look at it.
I'll squint
Can I
through.
knock on the bars?
If you'd like to. The bars kind of ring a little bit. The body looks over, and you can see a bit disheveled, bright-eyed, and slightly kind of not coming out of a sleep, but just coming out of rest. A surprised Yussa. Points to the collar.
Oh, you can't talk anyway.
You write down. We're here to break you out.
Exit. Yusa's like trying to cough, but the collar's still on. He's like,
We remember how to get the thing off,
Of course, yeah. I'll check it for traps.
Once we're in the study.
Yeah, in the study.
okay, go for it.
28.
He's not trapped.
I will try to unlock it. 20, 30.
23rd.
The collar falls off, and Yusa immediately kind of grabs his neck. Oh, that is much better. Thank you very much. So, thank you
I appreciate this, but we can talk more when we get out of here.
Yes.
We can go through the. Probably we know how to get out
the
through the
red
treasure
button.
room.
Yes, that would be the way to go.
Yeah.
He looks back towards the prison. He's like, they took all of my components and most of the things that I had taken from this last journey through the halls.
Well, it's going to get weirder once we're out because we found something.
Should we tell him now?
I would just hate to leave it all behind.
Well, you could try to get it, but it's super duper trapped, and if you don't do it, you die, and also the thing bounces away, so possibly it's already
We
gone.
should probably tell him before we go any further.
Then let's continue on. I'm fine.
Wait.
You don't want to tell him what we're holding?
I think
That's
this is
what I'm
the best
doing.
place to do it, actually.
Actually, this might be the best place to do it.
Why?
Do you have the map with you still?
Yeah.
You immediately kind of takes it from him, looks at you, and starts
We've
plotting
added
the
a
path.
little bit that we found.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We
This is
also.
the best place to do it. Time is passing really
So-
fast.
That's true. We should.
Well, we
Because we gotta talk about it before we get out.
I would prefer to enter his domain with some
either
permission.
he comes out here or he comes out in our world.
Or he does not come out at all.
Well, that's a discussion.
What are you talking about, if I might ask?
We found Halas.
He's the reason we got you out.
Found him.
Yeah.
He did help free you.
He wants us to free him.
He's trapped in a prison, a gem prison. He's trapped in this gem prison.
There is no honor amongst mages of his ilk. Whatever arrangement you made, do not fulfill it.
Why?
Or do it at your own folly. I'm not dealing with this thing.
No. Let's just. You guys,
What?
get out of here.
That's fine. Do we leave the gem here?
No, we take it with us
And
and
we
we
take-
give it to like Yussa or Elora or somebody that's going to keep it super safe.
Yussa, would you be interested in protecting a gem and the body of Halas?
No offense, but we gave Yussa the Happy Fun Ball for protection, for him to protect, and he got lost in it for an eternity.
Do you know how many
She's
years
not-
have passed? 35 years.
Make a deception check.
We all aged.
Natural one.
Still a powerful wizard, still want him to be our friend.
Yussa's right eyebrow kind of cocks up and goes,
Well then, I appreciate you taking your sweet time.
We would feel inappropriate, not at least ruminating on the notion of freeing Halas, considering that he was pretty straight with us and getting you out of here.
Oh, he's been as
created-
straight as he said what he thought you needed to hear.
He created a laboratory full of freaks of nature. He was carving pieces of a heart out so he could live for an eternity. We should not free him.
I can
we
say as
can
an
get out
individual
now.
that has lived as long as I have and been amongst mages of his ilk and stronger. At a certain point, morality becomes unnecessary.
I think we're fine not releasing him. I think the only question is, we should let you know we also destroyed the permaheart in here, but we've also made contact with Allura by Soren.
Good.
Is this something that someone of your group would like to oversee, or should we leave this here?
It's tempting to leave it behind, but I would hate to think what happens if somebody else were to get him within their grasp and make the mistake of releasing him. Hold on to it for now. Do not touch it. The fact that he has not taken you over means that this is not what I had assumed it would be. We know that none of you have... At this point, Yussa suddenly looks extremely suspicious of all of you.
What? What?
None of us
You
have
think
lost.
one of us has been turned?
We thought that too, maybe.
But no, everybody has maintained their normal amount of chaotic ridiculousness. It would be pretty impressive if anyone was capable of pretending to be quite as crazy as the rest of us are.
Yes, I would have thought to leave him here. I find it hard to trust anything he's told us and am wary of carrying him back to our home. If he is able to get out whenever he wants.
If he could get out, he would have gone out through one of you already.
Maybe he's a
And-
new Caleb and you're wanting to leave actual Caleb behind.
If I know the nature of this,
I have not touched the gem.
if he does not have the means of possessing somebody, and the body is not within a certain radius dispelling would destroy. How about we leave the body here and take the gem with us?
And dispel it in the real world.
Not dispel it. Seal it away.
Can I just tell if Yussa seems on the level right now?
Make an insight check.
Yeah.
I'll back you up.
What does that mean?
You get advantage.
He's
eyeballing as well.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Do I get advantage?
My insight sucks.
I'm not giving you advantage. I mean,
Oh, sorry. I
You
can
both-
roll it as well.
I'd say both of you guys roll separately.
1.
15. Yussa's are like a pretty hard to read person in general. You haven't seen him quite as frazzled, though for a person who looks as dirty and, fresh out of prison, he's a little more put together than he was when you first found him.
Does he smell as bad as Caleb used to?
No. Elves and humans have very different ways of, ripening.
Let's not forget why we came in here in the first place, is we're trying to make friends.
And you don't smell anymore.
Yes, we are trying to make friends. And are we trying to go out the door that has the dragon's hoard?
Let's go with the dragon's hoard and let's.
So we're leaving the body, taking the gem.
We're listening. We're listening to the person that we're going to be listening to.
There's no chance that this gem will just suddenly magically work.
We're going to find out. I don't suppose
We'll find
you
out.
touched that red pane on the stained glass window, have you?
Was that one there?
Yes.
Yes, it's how I cataloged it on the map.
Of course. By the way, did you go through there and already take all of the bounty that was in there?
Yes. What do you think is within one of my bags within an adamantine
It's empty.
box?
Well, one of those.
Not all of it. This was not my first trip through here.
All right, well, let's go and collect what we
Oh
can.
man, you got a lot and it all got taken?
Oh,
That's balls.
a lot of it. But I can always come back.
You're gonna come back?
Not alone. I've only mapped but a small portion of this.
Yussa, this thing is called the Mage's Bane or some.
Archmage's Bane.
What? Yeah. You got sucked into a prison, dragged off by a mage golem, and we came in here, not died.
But why would you touch something that could potentially hurt you or kill you just out of curiosity? That's just stupid, man.
You're gonna come back in here?
Nice nod. It was well said.
You don't
Fair.
think we're
Maybe. If it suits me. Not anytime soon. I've learned a few lessons from this experience. One by one, you each place your hand on the exit sphere, feeling that surge of energy, and once more, you emerge as a group in the center of Yussa's study, where you had entered the heirloom sphere a number of what seemed to be only a couple of days ago, but now sits a much larger period of time has passed here in Exandria. There, as soon as you arrive, you can see Wensforth kind of like, excuse me, master, and begin shouting down the stairs. You hear footsteps a moment later, and Yussa approaches now, clean, dressed in these like long, beautiful, gold and silver robes. The tan elven skin framing the somewhat warm and delighted smile that he's trying to hide at seeing you all return. Well, it is very nice to see you all once more. Thank you for everything. I've had some time to reflect that you may not have had, but I'm very thankful.
Did you call Laura yet?
Would you like me to?
Yeah.
Not sure. My mustache is all coming off.
4 hours.
I did it like you, so it's like.
Wait. Still putting it on my face.
Hang on.
It's fine now. We're almost there.
His mustache.
The whole time. Why do I always pick characters with facial hair? So, I could reach out to her right now if you would like, and she could come. She did say that she had some curious news and wanted to speak with you on something you had left with her before about this Angel of Irons business. We only spoke briefly on, she said she still needed something of yours.
Yes, she does. She needs something of Yasha's.
And closes his eyes, and you see his fingers trace a familiar element of the sending spell. This is the Mighty Nine have returned, and in one piece. Just a moment.
That was really short.
You
know, you have
say
a,
the whole 20.
Yeah, you know you have a lot more words you can use.
Yes.
That's kind of a waste of magic if you're not going to use up everything that you could do.
You should really say all of it.
Being concise is a very useful skill.
Jester, did you know that you could send short messages?
I know I can, but it seems wasteful.
It does. He doesn't even know if she was pooping.
Yeah.
You could ask so many other things. So many other things.
I'll keep that in mind. Break on the tower. Light filters in. The candles are out, and all of you feel your arms thrust apart, breaking the connection. This thing you chase is a ruse. She looks to Yussa. Yussa goes, there is no angel of irons. It is a guise for the chained oblivion. For there is Dune, the terrible mad god of endless hunger and destruction. It masquerades its efforts for freedom by this angel's name. He looks to Allura, and Allura looks to all of you. This is a terrible portent. I must inform the council.
You said you have any thoughts?
Yussa's turn goes, This is a lot, obviously. Let me do some research as well, some meditation, and reach out to a few allies I have that may have some esoteric knowledge. But I have to do this alone. I do have a friend in the Empire still, though I am not really invited as much as I once was.
What's their name?
I could give you a missive. Omid.
We know that. Who?
do.
It's Headmaster. Wait, oh!
The Solstice Academy.
Not the Solstice, the other school.
Halls of Erudition.
Yes, Halls of Dash.
Yep, that one.
I could write you a missive while I could not go, as it would not be best for me to be there. The introduction would be enough to gain an audience and perhaps glean some information from within the range of influence that the Assembly seems to have
An
gathered as
audience
well.
for us or for you?
For you.
He can't go. He's not, chooses not to go.
Who?
Oh,
Yussa.
There are means within the hall to disable such glamours that would allow me free entry and wandering. So, it is best I not cause a stir. But you can go as my allies. If there is a concern with this Trent, who I believe I know you're speaking of, then just avoid him. Do not bring him up.
So we can go see
He's
Omid.
like super duper powerful, didn't you know that?
So is the rest of the Assembly. Yep. So am I.
Well, yeah, but you're nice.
Well, do not think the entire Assembly is useless. They have a few dubious figures, but not all of them are bad eggs. He just goes,
Wow.
if you are going to Omid to ask for his expertise, knowledge, anything about what's going on within the Empire, just use my name, use this. And you see, the whole time you guys have been having this conversation, he's like been mage handing with a quill and ink over on the counter. It's kind of writing its own letter about 20 feet away from him. He then drifts over to...
You fucking motherfucker.
It's Brian Foster's payback.
Don't put this on him.
Turn it off. It makes any difference.
I know Brian's brand of payback. That ain't it.
As the parchment drifts through the air and then folds, a ribbon ties itself on it, and it lands over on Jester's lap.
Me!
How closely should we trust this person? How much information should we give them?
As much as you deem necessary, as much as that would be useful for what you're going after. Be guarded, but Omid is one of the less problematic members of the assembly.
We're naturally mistrusting people, so it's always important to ask.
We've also
You've survived this long.
a fair number of people that are not who they seem or pretending to be something else. Is there a question that we could ask, or perhaps some way of verifying that he is who you say he is?
I would say I couldn't help but notice around your neck this tiny furred creature.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my ruby necklace, which is really beautiful. But yes, this is Sprinkle.
Omid would react favorably to such a creature.
You say this Ahmed is one of the less problematic. Which ones do you deem problematic, and what do you estimate their problems to be?
It depends on your perspective. Ludinus is very intelligent. I do not know what his main intent is, but he's been around since the beginning. But he's also the one that keeps the balance with the king. He is the one that keeps the peace from an archmage's standpoint. But I'm wary of anyone that powerful, both from an arcane and political standpoint. Most of my contact has been with Omid. Trent seems just creepy. Jenna seems unique, if a bit distracted. Uludon's a buffoon. I think those are the only ones that I've actually met in person.
How do you know Ahmed?
We trained together. Or I trained him for a bit, I should say. I've been alive much longer than he has. But he's stern, but has a good heart. Wants the best for his students, pushes them hard. I respect his techniques, though his students may not always.
We appreciate your candor.
Of course. Oh, and so I've had a day to recover and get my wits about me. And kind of sits up for a minute. I want to thank you for coming into the halls after me. For freeing me from the result of my own arrogance. It means a lot.
I suppose the only question to ask is, will you be going back in?
Not for a while, and certainly not alone. However, I think it's only fair. And he reaches behind one of the counters and takes this kind of weighted satchel and kind of throws it into the center of where you guys are talking.
All bearings.
What is that?
This is a portion of Halas's fortune that I managed to recover.
Not in the room, no, thank you.
Yeah. Speaking of which, looks over to the unconscious body of Halas on the floor.
Oh, right. Where's
If you want, I'm more than welcome. I'm happy to jettison both that body and that gem far into the scattered plains. I have the means.
Yussa,
Yes?
do you know of a spell that would turn somebody into something else?
There are. Polymorph is a relatively
Yeah, but
simple.
permanently, like put them back in their right body.
Someone is in the wrong body.
It's a bit beyond my immediate scope, but there is I've heard whispers of like a truest polymorph. Though even that is only until dispelled. It is not a permanent endeavor, but it can become most anything.
This one has been dabbling in his time within the sphere. I have notes of his. They are incomplete, but it felt like he was on the right track.
You have these notes?
Yes.
And what is your specialty?
Transmutation.
You're fairly bright.
Is that a challenge?
Always.
So you watch as you're having this conversation, Yussa has like mage-handed the gem over onto the nearby table corners, draws a line through the air with the other hand, mutters an incantation, and you watch as a almost spectral-looking chest kind of apparates through the air as he draws the line, lands on the ground. It opens, mage hands the gem over onto the inside, it closes, and then vanishes.
Wow.
But still,
That was good.
remember that we found that in the middle of a magic fun ball inside a dreadnought, inside a magic space. I mean, it's these
I was
things.
there.
Things get found.
It's a Johassian wooden doll.
We should be off. We have much to learn.
That chest, though, that was, that's not a pocket for you to access later. That was a random
Oh, that's a pocket for me to access later. Hopefully not until it's needed. But until you decide you have no further use of this individual, I will put it somewhere nobody else can find it but myself.
Excellent.
And you don't have any
If
use?
you trust me.
All right. You make your way to Tide Peak after going through Wensforth the Fourth once more. Eventually, Yussa greets you down in the familiar kind of gathering chamber at the base of the tower as he descends in his elegant and somewhat aloof way. He looks towards you, Caleb. So it would seem that you have come requesting something from me, yes?
It seems like a bit of a stretch. I was hoping to find somewhere in town to do a bit of shopping, but I'm used to Grexentrum, which is very thick with,
Magic.
rare magic. But in all my noodling about, I have heard of a way of shielding yourself specifically from fairly powerful magic, creating a bit of a not really a shield, but like a sphere of protection, a globe, if you will. I don't know if that rings any bells for you, but I do have coin, or I could trade in favor. I do have a few things, and maybe it is presumptuous of me to ask, but here I am.
As I am looking at the specific spell in question here.
Is that a globe of no death?
What spell? Like which spell specifically?
Globe of invulnerability is what I'm looking for.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yes.
do you want to be like a superhuman? Like, really?
No, I'm very human. I'm your basic garden variety human. But humans like to kill each other, and the ones we are dealing with are very powerful magically, so I'm looking for specific protection against that, against my old friends.
Right.
It would indeed be difficult to locate this sort of magic in the streets of the city. Most trade passes through to other destinations.
But
I do
Such as you.
have such a spell, but powerful magics are guarded intentionally. I will trade you. I will allow you to copy this spell. I will supply the materials, but I keep the golem. It has been extremely useful to me in this time since you left last, and Wensforth is limited by being just one individual. Having two, especially one that does not occasionally talk back, would be wonderful.
You have yourself a deal.
message. They use it right now. I'm gonna use my message, and I'm gonna send a message to him saying, "Hey, guess who's coming for dinner? Your favorite 9 heroes. We'll see you in a minute." Oh gosh, I missed you so much. You say I can't.
The response is, "Oh, good." That's it. One after the other, you all find that familiar transitional sucking sensation in your chest as you step through onto a darkened stone floor in the barely lit interior of Yussa's tower once more. There you see Wensforth, the goblin, there waiting. Kind of leans back a bit, and there standing you see Yussa, arms crossed, in his some golden bronze-ish robes, bronzed skin with a bit of a cocked head, curious grin. All right. Welcome. Are you staying or are you on your way?
Are you inviting us to stay for a bit?
No. I'm just asking.
Passing through? We are passing through.
But we did want to talk to you about some stuff.
All right. What do you wish to ask?
We had a bit of an encounter with something from
The Astral Sea.
the Astral Sea. Have you ever heard of the Nine Eyes?
In what context?
In any context.
We felt the presence of something big and alien, and I think it noticed us. It was terrifying, and that's what we have, is Nine Eyes. Images of bending space and bleeding walls and things that make no sense. The Nine Eyes.
That does indeed sound terrifying. I do not know if I recall anything specific about this.
I feel much like last time it would be something worth looking at. It
I can look into it. Just
I
out of
appreciate that.
personal curiosity, as such things, like you describe, generally not good. I would like to know about such a thing. Where did you encounter this?
Oh boy. We were fighting a creature that had set itself up as a god on this island that was broken. Oh, I don't know. It was broken dimensionally, I guess. How would...
Yeah, it seemed like he had bust through, like trying to escape from this crazy living city thing in the Astral Sea.
Yeah, he was shunted through to this plane.
There were fragments of water plane and chunks of
So many planes.
buildings that were torn in half. It was very odd.
I will peruse my books and look into this, and if I do find anything that matches this creature of nine eyes,
I don't even know if it's a creature. It's just Nine Eyes.
if I find anything, I'll let you know.
To send a message. You know the drill.
I'm well aware.
I still have never gotten just a message from you, you know, like you can just send a message to say hello, that you miss us.
I'm what you would call not very social. Please don't take it personally. I'm a solitary creature when not having guests arrive so abruptly. I take no offense to it. So I ask you take none from me as well.
None at all.
Wonderful. Well, it's glad to see that you're safe and sound at the time being. But I was in the middle of something, so.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
See ya.
And he leads you out of Tide Peak Tower, back into the streets of Nicodranus. Moment in time, the window is partially open with a bit of daylight coming through, and you can see Yussa hunched over the desk, tomes open, and the Happy Fun Ball set upon a small pedestal in front. In the process of writing and scribing within there, stops and sets down the quill and turns over to face all of you. Well, hello, you've made it. You've arrived. What could I do for you?
Well, this is a rare instance. We're not just passing through. We have come seeking you specifically, if you have time to converse with us.
Well, I certainly, at the moment, have time, so let us discuss, yes. What is it you require?
Oh, this is a long story that we are going to have to keep telling.
Yeah.
You can just say you.
We tell this story.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's. Quite a bit seems to have transpired since last we met. You had mentioned a few of these strange visions in this city, this living city you had seen in some of your visions. This is a sticky situation. So, how can I help you?
Well, how familiar are you with any of it before we told this story?
Not much with the specifics of it. I'm familiar with the idea of Aeor. Just that some elements of its historical presence. And I've heard rumors, I believe it had spoken before, that its ruins had been uncovered to an extent to the north, but along with those rumors, strange, aberrant alterations of the flow of magic. Such mages have traveled there and spoken how dangerous their capabilities are in that proximity. Those who returned, at least. So I have not ventured myself, as let's just say I have a priority in maintaining my existence on Exandria.
And nothing of the history of the people there, or these philosophers. Is it that shrouded in history?
I am not necessarily a major in all parts of history. As far as Aeoran specifically, I am not a scholar in that space. My preference more seems to lie in extraplanar aspects, antiquity of known history, and in recent years, local politics. He kind of glances out towards the window in his office with a bit of a glare. It's a bit out of my realm of expertise, but I've heard various things, as many who delve into the Arcana do, which involves that they were a very powerful, mobile nation, one of many, struck down at some point in the calamity by the ire of the gods, but specifics beyond that, I'm afraid it's not my bailiwick.
Do you know of anybody that did study Aeor?
The thing is, most arcanists of my stature, we maintain mostly a competitive air. Friendships are not easy to find. Covetous, at a certain point of power, I suppose. I only keep a few close at hand. You've already met one, though I'm uncertain as to her expertise in this field, so you could certainly inquire. I could reach out if you'd like.
Well, on a parallel line of discussion, and I pick up the folding halls of Halas.
Right. As you go and reach forward on the table, you seem kind of just like an instinctually, not quite Gollum-esque, but like this has been his thing. He's been had studied for a while. The minute somebody starts reaching forward, he's like,
I'm ginger with it. You have been studying this, I presume?
I have. I've gone on 2 journeys within. Lucky enough to have returned from both.
It's curious. In our time in here, we met the architect, so to speak.
Indeed. I helped shuffle away his essence for you.
Yeah. We are wondering if he is reachable, I suppose, in a short amount of time. And we are wondering if you in your time with this have learned the ways of its functioning and the passage of time within it and without it. And we're curious to see if you... We're not sure that we want to do this, but would be open to us maybe having one more visit inside.
If you would be interested, I mean, you're the ones who gave it to me. You may enter as you see fit. I've mapped out a handful of rooms in my time. Being an individual, care must be taken with each progressive stage, especially as individuals like Halas are keen to
warded against other such magic practitioners. I believe you encountered such dangers as well. I have not yet located the device that controls the transition and speed of the passage of time, so it is still accelerated. But if you would wish to journey within, you are welcome to. If you wish to speak with Halas, I can pluck the gem from the pocket space in which I buried it, but once again, as you are well aware, such an entity imprisoned for so long with such intelligence and cunning is a dangerous thing to converse with indeed.
Just out of curiosity, have you mapped any new rooms within the halls of Halas?
He kind of, you show the map? Yeah. He kind of looks over and goes,
primarily, it's kind of combing through what you've missed. Nothing too far beyond that. How long has it been since last we spoke?
Yeah, Caleb would remember. He's got a very keen mind.
It's been a handful of weeks since last you spoke with Yussa. Yussa says, I've only been in there about a handful of days. As you know, the progressive passage of time makes it challenging. So while this has been maybe a longer distance for you, it has been a much shorter blip in my personal experience. So my traversing is limited until I can locate the centerpiece of this device. I am not one to wander too far or do an expansive breakdown of the folding halls until I can prevent it from consuming more time than is necessary.
Yussa, would you be interested in going to Aor and finding a whole bunch of relics that would be really interesting, and you could study them, and probably, like a lot of other mages wouldn't, have access to those relics, and you would probably know more than your fellow, arcane practitioners?
Just a little danger.
roll a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Okay. 16?
16, Yussa.
While I am behind what it is you're attempting, and I mean this with all due respect, the danger of someone as focused in my arts as I am in such a place unnerves me. I appreciate the comfort of control over my capabilities. However, I can aid you perhaps in other ways. Just a moment. And he sits up from his stool and heads over towards, looks like a curtain towards one of the walls, and kind of steps beyond the curtain, and it falls behind him. This like thick, almost blue, shiny velvet curtain. And a moment later, he steps back out, and he has this unique-looking kind of gold spiral scepter. And it has like a hollow center, and just kind of spirals a bit to a handle. And at the very edge, the tip of it, it seems to go into almost like a talon or a hook made of opal.
Ooh, that's very beautiful.
Back scratcher.
And you see he has a small leather, looks like a pouch about that big that he has at his side, and kind of sets them down on the table.
These are objects that I do not need at the moment. I prefer to keep my personal defenses on myself. Once again, jealous types. But if you would like to take these for the length of your journey, maybe they'll be helpful.
And what are we talking about here?
This, and he pulls back the pouch, you see two rather decent-sized potions of a familiar kind of herbal reddish peach coloration. These should tend to some of your wounds with a quick imbibing. And he slides it forward to the edge of the table as he kind of reaches out for the sphere.
Oh. Somebody else write down the stuff, because I don't have a bag anymore.
Oh.
So 2 potions of superior healing.
Oh.
Superior.
Yo.
You want me to? Are you gonna write?
I'm writing them down. I'm writing them down.
You're. Oh, okay. Ashley.
I'm just gonna write it out on my scratch.
This is a scepter of blasting. It has a series of small enchantments within, but hopefully it'll find some use within your troop. And he hands it over.
Do you think you'll require these items back?
Eventually, when you feel you've satisfactorily completed your encroachment of this danger and seal it away.
We're all going to die, so you might not get it back.
Well, even more of a reason for me to stay behind. But I believe in you. Look, of course I'm curious about Eeyore. Any one of my background and passions is, but it has a reputation for a reason. And I'm here, I've lived as long as I have from being careful. If things get out of hand, yes, I can reach out to a number of allies in hindsight and perhaps come in as a second wave. But if you can handle this, then well, I would rather not put myself in harm's way.
That's understandable.
I apologize, but...
Not at all.
You have succeeded at great many things, and I believe that you have a drive and a passion, and friends behind you. You may have what it takes to handle this without me. So you're to speak with Alas.
Correct.
Very well.
Less.
Yussa stands, kind of straightens his shoulders a bit, and you watch as his fingers almost seem to tug at an invisible thread, and as he pulls it across the front of him, you hear this faint tearing sound, this shh. You watch a small fold in space-time just open, and as it does, the gem, shining, falls out, and he almost catches it in his hand, and instead it just stays gravitating, floating in air, held aloft by a mage hand of some kind.
Smarty.
As it closes, he drifts it over in your direction, and you see the gem just kind of slowly corkscrewing in the air towards you before stopping right in front of you, just gently, quietly rotating, shining with a bit of light coming through the window, making it bright, a deep red, a beautiful red.
We are done with our questions, but it might serve us well if we were able to speak with your friend, Allura.
Very well, I can arrange that. But first, and once again pulls his finger across, this opening opens once more, but it's tilted now closer to your position. You can see on the inside, there's this like swirl of purple energy that kind of gives this stasis space. And on the up inside, you can see other strange objects that are just kind of held aloft very briefly before he throws the gem in with his mage hand and seals it shut once more.
How much do you keep in there?
Enough. Nevertheless.
There's a practical matter.
Yes?
What's that?
So, let's say that we were way up north and we tried to teleport something here, or technically not here, but teleport something really far away, and it may not have actually gotten to where we were teleporting it, because...
Based on our previous conversation, I assume this deals with the interference of Aeor and Isocross?
You're good, yes.
It could go any number of ways. Your best bet is to inquire as to where it might be through scrying means another magical...
Yeah, I can't scry on an object, though.
We haven't checked in with the soul yet to see if they actually
I
got
can
it.
totally do that after we're done here.
Thank you.
I can see what I can...
You have the ability to scry on an object?
Well, it's more of a, Come with me. There's 3 more doorways on the platform above, and he just goes to the right one. As he walks up towards it, it opens on its own, and he leads you in, and you can see there's a similar chamber as to the arrival teleportation rune that you are used to coming to and from within here. Similar design, though it is a bit smaller. In the middle, you can see there are these odd, almost brass, shiny instruments, these tripod-like structures that all point towards the center piece. You can see they have crystals in them. They stand about 4 feet tall or so, and they all face, there's 3 of them facing inward, and in the center, you can see a small 1.5 foot tall platform. Yussa says, if you are to attempt to scry within this chamber, do you have any sort of... I guess you wouldn't have anything from the object, would you?
We keep the bag? No.
I mean,
can we create
I still have the bag it was in.
Wasn't there anything else in the bag?
I mean, nothing that belonged to the...
We can try.
But we have the thing it was in.
The only thing I can think of is before we sent it away, I smeared a bit of molasses on it.
And it had Bo's fabric wrapped around it too.
No, I kept that.
He burned it.
I used that for the... No, I didn't.
But you do have this molasses, or any more of this molasses
Yes,
that
I
you
do.
utilized.
I pull it out of my components.
He takes it swiftly and sets it on the center platform there. I do not have any personal experience with this object, this crest, but you do. If you would like to use this as a focus, I warn you, it is strenuous to attempt to push beyond the boundaries of such a spell, so it may be painful.
Would an image help? I don't know. Can anyone do that right now?
You recognize Caduceus looking in this chamber at the edge of these three tripod-like devices. The gem that's put at the end has a kind of a deep green coloration that you recall. Very similar material to what you procured when you were making your way into the Graying Wildlands residuum.
That's like two-part harmony.
Like on all three of these? Or?
All three of them at the endpoints have residuum kind of facing inward as a magical focus.
So this is like I actually still have some residuum on me.
This is an amplification chamber.
Ooh! I mean, I could just message somebody about it, but this seems like way more fun.
Yeah.
He turns to you and says, I assume you don't mean telling other people about this chamber, do you?
No.
Do not tell anyone about this chamber.
No, I mean, I already tweeted about it, but it's fine. It's probably fine.
It is the adult section.
There is a semblance of trust in me even showing you this interior. Such chambers are not smiled upon in some circles.
Your trust is appreciated.
We never talk about you to anyone, and even if we did, no one believes us about anything.
That's true.
Good.
Well...
Hey, Yussa.
Scheiße.
Yep.
If somebody were to take your blood and they could track you with their blood, would you know how to make it to where they couldn't track you anymore?
Like change our blood?
Yeah.
I would not recommend that at all. There are certain magics that can blanket divination.
You know how to do that? Can you make us...
He kind of glances at the object kind of sitting on your chest.
Yeah, like that.
Correct. Such a device like that can do exactly what you request.
Oh. Do you have any of these?
I do not, unfortunately.
Oh. I wonder if your friends would have access to more of them.
Friends? You mean Astrid?
Yeah, that's a conversation we probably need to have.
Did we want to speak with
Pretty blonde girl?
Allura Vysorin, I believe her name is?
Allow me. And Yussa kind of steps out for a minute, begins to speak into the air. Allura, you recall that strange troop you interacted with, the Mighty Nine? They may need your help. Might they pop by?
Wait, what?
Were you just rehearsing what you're going to say to her? Because I do that sometimes.
Puts his finger up.
Oh.
Very well. If you'd like, I could send you to her chambers.
Send us to her?
Wait a minute.
Hey, come here. We get to go there. We get to go. I mean, like, it's wherever we go. It's no big deal.
Where is she located?
She's located in the city of Amon in Taldore.
I've never left.
I am unfamiliar with an
Would she be able to send us back here?
Yes, she would very much be able to.
I mean, we
Or you could
probably-
just return to my tower when you need to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
That would be another city on our checklist of blah, 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 right?
Correct.
I'd like to get a souvenir shot glass. That's all right with everyone.
Boy, sounds dull. I don't know. Perhaps we should?
Let's go see your mother
Yeah.
instead.
Why not?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's...
What are the people like? Are they stuffy? Are they bougie?
Is it like the Cleveland of Taldore? Is it sort of like
Yeah, kind of artsy.
a little shitty?
But a little shitty,
sorry,
but artsy.
Cleveland.
You know? They've got good music.
I liked Cleveland.
It's certainly been a bit unfocused since they've established the Republic, but it, I don't know. It's a bit cramped for my tastes. I like it closer to, well, more relaxed coast atmosphere.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can send us
I
there.
can jump us around.
Very well.
New place.
Yussa leads you back down to the teleportation chamber where the central rune of arrival is located and begins to scrawl out his circle.
Wait 1 moment. I'm so sorry.
Yes?
Do you, by any chance, have any spare pieces of ember that I could purchase, borrow?
Just a moment. He steps back up the stairs and returns a couple minutes later.
This has been such a fantastic visit.
Yeah.
Comes.
I think this is the most we've ever talked to Yussa.
Yes,
like
it
it.
is.
Yeah.
I think it's the most Yussa's ever talked to anybody else.
Yeah.
Also not wrong.
Very useful.
In a positive way.
No, and
he definitely gives off that like get off my lawn energy to. I mean, even you guys in your first couple
I
meetings.
feel like
with
the
him.
happy fun ball really went far, and it helps that it wasn't nearly as long for him as it was for us.
When we bring ancient unknown knowledge, now he's interested.
Yeah. I mean, you've definitely piqued his interest as far as a relationship goes compared to pretty much most of the people that come across his tower. But he comes over to you with 3 pieces of amber, smoothed gems worth about 50 gold apiece.
Fancy.
I can repay you for this.
I will say that you're making your way on a very dangerous journey. Consider it an addition to my aid that I can offer at the moment.
You truly are too kind.
Don't get that stuck on your head.
Danke.
Finishes drawing his circle. 3. And as he connects the final thread of the line to the central point, it lights up.
Yussa!
At which point, times 4, let me see here.
What, can I ask you, what's your business is here with the master?
We would desperately like for Yussa to help us transport somewhere.
Okay.
It is actually quite tense, so
Well,
he's doing something. It is really worth interrupting.
I understand that. He's not reachable at the moment.
Is he in the ball?
He didn't go back in the ball, did he?
No. He, after the previous conversation, he was going to go on sort of as he put it, an information gathering excursion into the astral plane.
Oh, wow.
Oh boy. So, and you see him kind of going up the stairs and kind of giving a follow me.
Does he have a
motion.
teleportation circle we can use? Or
But Caleb, do you still have enough energy? That's the problem.
Oh boy.
Henceforth, we don't want to endanger you, but is this place safe, magically speaking?
No, I think so.
We have somebody who's we need to tell him what we're running from.
Is there any chance you have the ability to work the circle at the top of the tower?
Any sort of magic on those extremely rudimentary, sorry.
What about the amplification circle? Do you have that?
I could probably access that. Let me see if I can wake up the master.
And he goes and starts heading up the stairs, kind of arcing up. Do you follow?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Heading up to the secondary floor, you come to his first base laboratory, where you had previously spent some time with him, and where the ball of Halas, the folding hall sphere, the happy fun ball, is up on the counter right there. Curtains are closed, and you can see there's some kind of general incense that has burned off, and kind of the vaporous scent of it is kind of fading over time. But in the middle of this chamber, you can see a lot of the tables and shelving elements have been pushed to the sides, and in the middle there is a comfortable reclined chair. And there, kind of laying in it, kind of hands folded in the front, lying back, eyes closed, is Yussa. And Wensworth kind of goes up to and grabs the arm and kind of shakes.
Master, we've got company. Master. Oh, don't I don't know how to wake him up. I'm sorry. He's been here for about a day on his journey.
Can we get a hold of anybody else from here? Do we have some? Can we contact, I don't know, Laura or?
I have no spells to contact anyone. Okay, I'm out.
Or even is there an object, or were we talking with a mirror, if I recall?
That was Alora's mirror.
She took it back.
Do you have any magic left, Ford?
I have all my magic.
He can hit things.
I can look like a busboy.
We can just stay here and hope that we're safe.
I'm gonna cast command on Yussa.
Oh,
okay.
I'm gonna touch him and I'm gonna cast command and I'm just gonna say, "Wake up!"
No effect. Whatever influence he seems to be under, it is extremely powerful, and the will of his mind seems to be beyond the contact of such a rudimentary spell.
Oh! Righty before we leave, I'm gonna send a message to Yussa.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
We're the worst.
To see if he's okay.
Probably
Hopefully the message will, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna
he's
send a message
alive,
to Yussa.
Can he go feed our dog?
Or conscious. We don't even know if he's conscious.
I don't know if he's okay. I need to check on him.
He could be.
Maybe,
We're
yeah,
sorry.
he's still.
The person you were trying to message has been disconnected.
Oh, only a few people are going to understand that.
I know.
True.
A dinosaurs. Alrighty.
Yussa? Are you okay? We sort of, came through in a hurry. I hope you're okay. I hope you're not mad. Are you okay?
Oh, God.
Immediately, you hear this unexpected sound. Layers and layers and layers of voices screaming, wailing, shouting, screeching.
Oh no, he's there.
Hundreds of voices, thousands of voices. And then it ends. We're gonna go to break.
Oh!
What does it mean?
At least we have a friend over there.
That's why he was like sending his brain to the freaking astral plane.
Yeah, chilling at the city.
He's still in it.
Well, his body's in the tower.
How did
but
he get there? What was he?
You remember he was like
astral projected self is hanging with the Somnovum. Probably, maybe.
Right
Is he trapped? Yes, he's
Yeah, what
stuck?
if he's stuck?
Because he doesn't have a body to go back to.
He's got
His
a body. It was
body
right
was there?
We hold.
His body was probably sliced in half by Ickathon.
Cool.
Well, regardless,
No, what's happening?
we'll come back here in a few minutes.
Maybe it means we have a contact when we
Sure.
get there,
Yeah,
you know?
maybe he's there.
We
or
can stay in his
uncovered.
loft.
Is that?
Oh my
are those
God.
3 teeth yours? Are those? Is that? Oh, Akira. Akira's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. We'll see you guys here in a minute.
I had to do something before we went to sleep.
Okay. What do you want to do?
I have to send a message.
Shelby.
I have to send a message to Wayne's World.
Wayne's
Wayne's
World. Yeah.
Right. To find out. To find out what's happening.
Sure.
So I'm gonna try to send a message to him.
All right.
I'll have to do this at 4th level because I'm out of 3rds.
Okay. It is. Well, yeah. Go.
Is that?
Yeah, you can totally do it.
It's late.
Yeah, but when's that ever stopped you?
Yeah. Hey, what's happening? Are you okay? Yussa sounds like screaming. I tried to contact him and he was screaming. Are you dead? Oh God. Are you okay, please?
There's a pause before.
Hello. Master's still doing his journey. Sorry about that business. I think old friends stopped by. I may have been had. But we're safe.
Okay. Okay. Doesn't even know that Yussa's fucking being tortured right now mentally. Fuck. How did he make it out? I'm gonna send one more message.
Sure.
Gesund.
Wait. How did you make it out? Did they hurt you? I'm talking about the old wizard. Did he hurt you? You should really wake Yussa up.
No, he didn't hurt me. I think I might have been ensorcelled to let them in. But they didn't stay long. I'm trying.
Okay.